So guys, this is how I won my first ever futures trade. Um, I took this kind of alongside my GU Forex trade, and I want to say, although this is my first ever futures trade, I have been trading Forex for quite a while, so this isn't completely new to me. It's a tiny bit different with futures and Forex, but it's relatively the same, like kind of where it matters. But yeah, we'll get straight into it. You might be wondering, what are all these green lines? I just put them on there now just to be able to explain something with my bias. I was bullish here, and all these green lines are pretty much 1 hour points of sell side liquidity, which we ended up taking out. They were just to help me describe how much liquidity we did truly take out. Asian session, manipulation and creation of this imbalance. We took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1 hour lows, and then London session we ended up taking out another 1 hour low, as well as Asia session lows. Let me get rid of these so it's actually a bit cleaner. And yeah, so with that amount of manipulation, and with, if we look on the higher time frame, not too many draws in liquidity any lower. As you can see, this, if New York session opens here, we've got this. There's not too many draws in liquidity, but what there is equilibrium. I'll do it off. I think I got off on a 4 hour. So yeah, okay, there was, yeah. So here, high time frame equilibrium got hit, as well as we filled this BPR, actually quite a high time frame BPR as well. So a lot of opportunity for orders to get filled with the amount of 1 hour liquidity. London session sweeping Asian session liquidity, so we had 1 hour session liquidity, equilibrium and BPR, all as opportunities for orders to get filled. That's basically perfect manipulation in my eyes. So that did end up making me bullish for the day, as we had Asia highs, this very large imbalance, and London highs as the target. I didn't end up setting my final take profit for Asia highs, as I thought it was just a bit too far. I don't know, I wasn't too confident. We already had a nice risk to reward of 3, so that's why. But I do now know, one thing I've noticed about futures, because I have all this is my first actual, this is my demo trade, so this is a demo account. But although I haven't really taken demo, actual live trades, I have backtested quite a bit. And one thing I've noticed is that futures likes to basically end the move with liquidity, not ending with an imbalance, which, I'm not going to say Forex likes to end within an imbalance, but sometimes in Forex we can get kind of held up. So a lot of the time you will see us hit, we'll have these lows, we'll sweep these lows, go up, and then we'll kind of just consolidate in the imbalance, because I feel in Forex a lot of the time when we go in the imbalance, it is an imbalance of price. We tend to, instead of rejecting it or flying straight through it, we tend to just hit and just fill and chop and just fill orders pretty much without pushing in one direction. Whereas in futures, it's often either a strong rejection or a strong push through, which in this case you see an example of a strong push through, which is a reason why I could have extended my take profit to a risk to reward of 4.3, which would be very nice for the first trade. But yeah, I'm still happy with this, as we did have first take profit down here as well. But yeah, so what sort of confluences are we looking for in futures? In Forex, I like to have a 15-minute break structure, then a 5-minute imbalance. On futures, I basically have just done one time frame lower for basically everything. So I look for a 5-minute break of structure as we go into market open. As you can see, pre-market actually forms, this is something else I noticed, pre-market formed a 50-minute low, which we swapped out, as well as this 15-minute imbalance, although we did inverse it, it's whatever. Basically, we swept lows on the 15-minute. Oh, we didn't inverse it. See, I was looking at basically we tapped into 50-minute imbalance as well as sweeping out 50-minute lows. That was just extra confluence for me, pretty much, as you know, this pre-market. No, we inversed this gap straight away. So this is the change in order flow on the 5-minute. I then came down to the 1-minute and wanted some sort of imbalance to be tapped into, which happened literally straight away. Here, imbalance, we come down and pushed out. The reason I wouldn't have entered off this candle not only is because 5-minute closure hadn't happened yet, but also it's a doji candle. I don't enter off doji candles. But one thing I do need to admit to you guys is I didn't actually take this trade, but for a good reason. We got here. I think we were about to inverse this gap. I saw this gap, like, you know, with like 30 seconds left or something on this candle. We were somewhere up here, and that is the same point. That is the point where I had to go over to GU, and I actually entered on my live account and on my funded account for shorts. I ended up losing. Terrible, terrible trade. One of the worst trades I've ever taken. What a waste of time. Should have just stayed on futures and took this trade instead. But I didn't actually end up managing to take the trade because by the time I entered on my live account and entered on my funded account and was, you know, looking at that, I basically completely forgot about this, and we had already gone past this imbalance, and we were already, you know, just entering. I think we were just around here, so just entering into the imbalance, and we were taking out London highs, and I didn't really want to force a trade. I look back, we had this. I knew for a fact this isn't something like cope. This is nothing like that. I knew 100% for a fact I would have entered off here. So I'm like, fuck it, just imagining trade. It's demo, not real. I'm not gonna like just go in. I'm not gonna enter late. And just, yeah, we entered here. Blah, blah, blah. I already had all my take profits and my stop losses set out. Yes, I could have like pretended that I had my my take profit at Asia highs. I didn't. Is what it is. I'm still counting this as a trade because, like, I would have 100% taken the trade if I didn't have to quickly look at GU for like 2 minutes. If this was a funded account, I probably would have just taken it late around here and had a crap risk to reward. Is what it is, though. Counting it as a trade because fuck it, I can do what I want. Um, but yeah, it's quite a nice trade. It played out quite nicely. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's very quick. That's my favorite thing about futures is like you look at the chart for how long. Come out here at pre-market, watch what pre-market's doing for a little bit. You could, you know, market opens at past. Yeah, you can come on here, 2:25, mark everything out within the 5 minutes. Look at pre-market, look what's happened, and then you can take the trade 5-10 minutes later and set all your take profits and stop losses. And you're only looking at charts for 15 minutes, and you're in and you're out again, and it's amazing. That's my favorite thing about futures. But yeah, so not much to really say. Good first trade. Yeah, let me know what trade you guys took. Put a little mini trade recap down in the comments below. Um, you know, whether you took shorts, you followed this long. You know, if you took shorts, why? You know, what mistake did you make? If you took long, what your entry point? Where did you take profits? Where did you take stop loss? Explain everything. I'll reply, and yeah, I just want to see what you guys are doing. But main takeaways from this one is set final take profits on liquidity. Futures targets liquidity. It prioritizes liquidity over balancing fair value gaps. Yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from the video and all that was all good. And yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.